astrologer Wonder Girl, and I am here to give you your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, October 31st to Monday, November 7th. Now, first of all, happy Halloween! I can't believe it's already that time of year. I feel like it went by so fast. And I hope you like my orange. I dressed up specially for the occasion to get in the Halloween spirit. And I kind of just wanted to start by saying that this year, especially in the astrology, is a really, really good time for Halloween. It's really going to be a representative time of Halloween, because around this time of year we have the sun move into Scorpio, which is all about getting to the heart and to the deep stuff of what we really care about, of what really matters, of how we really feel, and bringing it up to the surface. Especially when you think of Halloween itself, you think of people dressed up as goblins and zombies and, all these dark things kind of under the surface or coming back from the dead. And that's what Scorpio is a little bit, is things that you haven't thought about for a while, that you've ignored deep down, finally bubbling up to the surface and being like, you know what? I really do care about that, or I miss that part of myself that I didn't have, or I don't like talking about this, but now I have to talk about it. And now is that time to really bring that stuff forward. And this Halloween is gonna feel very, very much so like that, like a traditional Halloween, because we have a new moon in Scorpio. We don't always have a new moon in Scorpio on Halloween. So I think that this is very, very special that we have that, especially with Mercury in Scorpio, where this is really a time for us to bring some things up from the depths of our soul that we thought were lost or dead, and bring them into our life, to have a new, better, more authentic life than we thought we ever could have had first. But in order to get there, to this new life, to this really good feeling of being who you are, living in your lane, you kind of have to let go of some old stuff, that some of the old dead bodies, you got to get rid of that, the zombies, you got to get rid of all the ghosts first. And so it can be hard to kind of get here, but once you get here and deal with all of that, it can be really beautiful. And that's where we are in this week, starting to see the first real glimmer of hope, where we're coming out of our graves and we're starting to move forward and be, a new life and everything. And we've gotten rid of some of the zombies and the bad things, and we're having to move forward. It's not going to be all easy when this happens, but it is going to be a lot easier than it has been in the past. And the astrology this week too isn't as crazy as it has been either, especially in the beginning of the week. So there won't be too much of that going on. What this week is a good week for is really starting to go in this new direction, especially after the new moon on Sunday, and build and put plans in place to move forward. We start out the week with Mercury in Scorpio quintiling Mars in Capricorn. Now, Mercury is all about your thoughts. It's all about how you communicate, the way you make sense of things there, and the way you speak and you talk to other people. And it was just in conjunct with the sun in Scorpio. So you are on the same page with your identity, with your heart and your soul and where you want to go. And you are now ready to come out and communicate and talk about these things and explain them, your thought process, to other people, so that you can make plans and go in the direction that you want to go in. And this week is really going to be the week to go ahead and to make a lot of those things happen based on who you really are. It may happen a little fast. You've got Mercury, which is a fast-moving planet, likes to go and get and to communicate and have things happen. And you've also got Mars in Capricorn, which just wants to make a plan and stick to it and not care about feelings or distractions or anything else, and just have it happen. So I feel like this is a good week to get a lot of things done, especially in the early part of the week, and build foundations and move forward. You've also got this arrangement sextiling the North Node, so whatever you do is going to help you to reach your destiny. You're going to feel really, really good, like you're being productive and successful and going in the way that you want to go. There may, though, be some confusion, because it is in a semi-square with Neptune, that you don't quite know how to go about building these foundations, or you're maybe confused that you thought this direction was right, but maybe you're having doubts or something like that. Going forward, that could be a little bit hard for you, or you don't know how to talk to other people about what's going on in order to help get them on board. There could be that happening until Wednesday, but once Wednesday hits, I feel like that confusion is going to clear up and going to really open up into some beautiful insights and something moving forward. And that's because you've got Scorpio, of course, moving into the second decan, the sun moving into the second decan of Scorpio, which is all about Neptune, which is all about searching for those insights, clearing clearing up confusion, you know, and trying to really connect with your dreams, these things that have come to you. You've got that happening. You've also got the Sun trine Neptune, which is where your identity is starting to get insights, move forward, connect with your dreams, you know, see the big picture. And so I think that that's really going to help for you with that. We've also got, you know, it's also a time, once you've got this confusion cleared up, and even when you don't, to move forward and to make plans. But towards the end of the week, Mercury sextiles Pluto and Capricorn, which is where it was with Mars. So whatever you're doing to put things in place, you're going to have to do them differently than before. You may have to rethink some of the foundations you have in your life, or the way that you've been going about putting them in place. You know, maybe you're doing a lot of things and making things happen as you should, but maybe you're realizing that the way that you're doing them, you need to change and do it differently, or if you can't do them the way that you've done them before. So it's really a time to just embark on a new journey and do things totally different, build foundations in a completely different way from the bottom up into something more beautiful. And the Sun will be there also, especially towards the very, very end of the week, helping you to get on board to really change. I mean, this is such a time of like rebirth and being born from the ashes and coming up from the grave and moving forward and doing new things. So just try to embrace that. There may be some hard aspects with relationships on Thursday, Friday. You've got Venus square Chiron. You may not feel quite right about relationships, about the people in your life. Maybe you don't feel quite right about yourself, since Venus rules beauty, it rules love. Maybe you don't feel quite right about that. There's something that's hurting, but I feel like that won't last long, because you've got it trining Uranus and Aries, which means that something unexpected could come out of the blue that is really beautiful, that really helps you there. And you've got it quintiling Jupiter and Libra, which is where you're starting to make more sense of your relationship. So if something happened to you in the past few weeks with your relationships, a breakup, something like that, or a new beginning in a relationship that you're kind of uncertain about, especially with Venus and Saturn conjunct over the weekend, you may be kind of like a little wary, like, where is this going? We made this decision, but I don't know how I feel about it. And once it gets towards the end of the week, there may be something unexpected that comes to you that helps you make much more sense of it, and helps you really get on the track that you want and be like, okay, now I understand why this happened and why we needed to end this relationship or begin it for me to be here at this time. And so be expecting maybe to not feel good at first with the relationships, but to have kind of a really nice, pretty moment happen later in the week with the way that you feel. We've also got Mercury and Scorpio trining Chiron and Pisces at the end. So whatever, you know, hard stuff came up during the week, you're going to end the week on a high note and really go into the weekend feeling good, feeling like the things you put in place were really helping you to move forward in the right direction, even though there may have been some confusion, even though it may have been hard and hurt in some areas. You're going to feel good about it. And so you need to understand that this is also Mercury and Scorpio trining Chiron and not Venus. So you need to remember that even though you may want to please people with relationships, that your relationships are going to be feeling better. It's really you who needs to get in touch deep down with what you really want and stick with that, even if it does go against some of your stuff with relationships, because that's ultimately what's going to win here at the end of the week, is speaking your truth about what you really want. So just remember that's ultimately what's going to bring the healing forward. There may be something unexpected that happens at the very, very end of the week, Sunday going into Monday of next week, that could catch you a little off guard, especially with the way that you're communicating, especially in the way that you're thinking about things. Maybe you start to think about things in another way. Maybe news comes to you that's a little unexpected. That may cause you to change your plans, change some of your beliefs about things. So just expect that even though you need to be identifying with your new direction that you're going in, speaking your truth, you may have to adjust a little bit for something that comes up that you weren't expecting, that happens at the end of the week. And then into next week, we've got a lot of changes happening. I think this week is more about sustaining the path that you've been on, building foundations, moving forward. And then next week, things change, where you've got Mars moving into Aquarius, which is all about trying things in different ways, being more free to be yourself, moving forward. You've also got Venus into Capricorn, so taking some stuff that's happened with your relationships and really trying to work on figuring them out and building a system that can move forward. Mercury will move into Sagittarius there too, so you're exploring ideas, you're trying to make sure that these things that you want are actually going to work and move there. And then we end next week, and this is on November 14th, so I know I'm going way ahead here, but just want to give you, the bigger picture. But on November 14th, we've got a full moon in Taurus, and that is going to be about figuring out what we really value and what we really want. So this week, on this past Sunday, we had the new moon in Scorpio, which is all about what we really want and creating a life that more aligns with who we are. And that's what we're going to be working on for the next 2 weeks. And when this full moon in Taurus hits 2 weeks from now, it's going to be like, okay, now that we're on this new journey and now that this is happening, what do we want to take with us? What do we love so much that we can't do without? What do we absolutely need? What do we value? What do we want to bring, and what can we let go? And so expect that to come up to really start to evaluate some of these things in your life to get you more on the track that you want to go moving forward. So okay, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. And otherwise, I will talk to you on the dailies.